You've heard the saying, you are what you eat, but have you ever actually thought about how the food gets to your table? The Farm to Table movement is a social movement which promotes serving local food at restaurants directly for the producer. This might be accomplished by a farmer's market, a local distributor, or by the restaurant raising its own food. South Texas is home to tons of locally owned farms, but Diego's Farm to Table is one of the few to also own a restaurant dedicated to it. The importance of farm fresh food is more than just flavor, it's a commitment to quality. We spoke with the owner of Diego's Farm to Table, Diego Ramos, to understand the inner workings of what it takes to manage a farm to table business.
The monthly is, I think that's the important one, because that's what helps kind of uphold this farm to table idea. Once a month, I have to drive to a small town south of San Antonio. This is where my butcher is. I have an appointment every 4 weeks for the rest of the year where I drop off one of our cows from the farm. I kind of am specific on how I want each cut from the chuck to the rib section. After dropping off the cow, I have to wait 28 days before I can pick up that cow because of the dry aging process. Once I drop off our cow, it's harvested and then it's hung in a cold room for 28 days before it gets cut and processed into steaks. I pick up 800 pounds of beef to supply the restaurant. It's about like one cow every 4 weeks, maybe like 3 to 4 depending on how busy we are. But it's a lot of planning. And then I bring all of that beef that's already kind of packaged up back to the restaurant. It's very interesting because it's never thawed out from when it's been harvested. They freeze it at negative 40 degrees Celsius. It's a way to preserve the quality of the beef by still freezing it. You know, people say like, oh, fresh, never frozen, but frozen is not always super bad. My beef is frozen, but because we have to use one cow every 4 weeks, you wouldn't be able to keep fresh beef. But it's a really interesting process because when we thaw it out to prepare it for the restaurant, it's the first time it's ever being thawed out since the animal was harvested. So it's a cool way to taste what farm fresh food is about. Not only vegetables, but meats as well.
Diego's Farm to Table is one of many restaurants across the nation that uses the farm to table process of self-raised food in their business. While, yes, only 0.03%, 273 restaurants in total offer the farm to table options on their menu, they have seen a 5% increase overall this past year, with beef being the most established ingredient.
I think it's really important because commercialization has kind of blurred out a lot of the different varieties of like kind of quality beef there is. A lot of what you see in the market is commercial beef. You know, when you do like a compare and contrast to local to commercial beef, there is huge qualitative differences, and obviously local being better for us, for the environment, for the economy. As long as you're aware of who your like local farmers are and who you're supporting, you know, by buying local produce, local eggs, local proteins, it's really important for future generations to kind of follow our like footsteps in changing the world for the better.
The importance of organic food, such as Diego stated, has been dominating the public's opinion, with the rising health concerns of fast food. So, why not go out and find your nearest local farm to table and contribute to the rising development of organic local food?